Today we're going to teach you step by step how to make your own alcohol stove. That way you only need to bring a little bit of alcohol and you can have some espresso on your next camping adventure. To do this project I found a number of different plans online, but they all are pretty much the same. You do need 2 soda cans, some insulation, a drill, or you can use a hammer and nail to put the holes in it, some pliers to be able to crimp the soda cans to get them to fit together, a small tool that I've made using a razor blade and a 2x4. I just screwed it down, and this is how we will cut the soda cans in half. I've also got a drill bit and some snips to be able to cut the screen to be able to make a stand for my pot to sit on. And then I've also got a Sharpie to mark everything out before I do it. So let's go ahead, get started, and see how this thing works. One of the things I'll probably do outside is after I've cut the pieces down, I'm going to sand them to get rid of all of the paint on the outside of the cans. So the first thing that we need to do is to cut the cans in half. To do that, we take our small tool and just gently keep turning the can against that razor blade using slight pressure. You don't want to dent the can, you want to score it so that it can come apart. Take your time on this. You don't want it to cut all at once and rip and tear. You want it to be a nice even cut all the way around. There we go. One side down. Very nice. A little bit of sanding and that will be good. So we're going to take this outside, do a little bit of sanding, cleaning up. I won't really show you that because I don't think that's too interesting, but then we'll come back. So let's see the magic happen. We are back. We've got the 2 halves cleaned up. Wanted to remove the paint so I don't have paint melting on the outside of this after I heat it up. So the next step is going to be marking out where I want the holes to be. So for that, trusty Sharpie. I've seen online they do 3 holes in the center, and then they do a number of holes around the outside. So I'm just going to mark those. And I think I'll just go in between each of those just to give us a bunch of holes. And the key is make sure these 3 holes in the center are smaller than the size of a penny, because we'll have to use a older penny, I think before 1982, because of the makeup of the penny that will be going over those center holes after we light our stove. So we want to make sure that those 3 holes are within the size of a penny. Next, we take our trusty drill. Glad I got this. It was a Black Friday deal from Ace Hardware. Actually, first time I've used it. Okay, you can see we've got all of our holes drilled. The next thing to do is to crimp the bottom side so that it will fit inside of the top. So we're just going to take our little pliers, and what I've seen people do is just a slight little crimp. Just trying to make it a little bit smaller to fit in the top. Just going to break off some of this insulation, put it inside, put this over the top. And then we just push the 2 sides together to go. Perfect. Nice little stove. We're going to go ahead and get some alcohol and we'll put it in there and light it up. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead and make our little stand. I've cut this to be just slightly higher than that, and hopefully this will fit on top. I actually might cut it down just a little bit more because it is a bit higher than I was hoping. So we'll cut this down. About the size we need. So I'll go ahead and cut it off there. And what I'm going to do is to make it so it hooks together. So on one side I'll have to cut it just past the wire, and then bend those so that it'll connect together. We're going to bend all of these to make a little attachment point, and then it should hook together. And that will hold the top of this, so we can go ahead and try this out now. Let's go outside for that. I don't want to melt my table, so. Okay, we're going to go ahead and give this a try. First step is to put some alcohol in it, hence it's an alcohol stove. I had to light it a couple times before the flame would stay. I even had to grab a block of wood to provide a windbreak. It was a little bit hard to get it going, but now that it's going, it's burning nicely. We'll see if I can have a cup of espresso. Well, this is working out just fine. If you'd like to see me build some more camping gear, be sure to hit like and subscribe and leave me a comment below. Maybe you can give me some ideas of what else to make.